In this series of teaching man-to-man defense, we are going to cover rotations. Hi, my name is Rich. Thank you for joining me. If you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, go on ahead and subscribe to the channel. Check out the link in the description below. I have a free video down there on how to beat a 2-3 zone. Without further ado, let's get into the video. Okay, so today in this video, we're going to be going over rotations, meaning like if a player drives, whose responsibility is it to help and how are the players supposed to rotate out of it. All right. So we're going to just address a drive from pretty much each position on the floor, starting with right here on top of the key. So if this one drives his guy and this guy gets beat to his right, it is the response he's trying to stay along. It's the responsibility of the foreman to come over and help. Try to take a charge or wall up or whatever. And this guy's job, the one's job, is to level. Level means whenever your guy beats you, you're not trying to push him this way. You're not trying to give him any more ground, but you're just trying to level him straight into a straight line drive, straight out of bounds. So as to not get called for a pushing foul. If you try to push him over this way, if you try to move this player that way, you're going to get called for a pushing foul. However, your best chance is to just level him. And the 4 needs to know when to help. So if this guy is actually doing a good job of leveling him, there is no reason for the 4 to come over and help, because if the 4 comes over to help, it creates a disadvantage, or it creates a passing lane here where the 1 can drive and kick to that guy. So if we can, we want to avoid that. Obviously, we'll give up a 3-pointer before we'll give up a layup, but we want the 4 only to help when the 1 is beat. If the 1 is beat, that means that this guy has him on his back, or pretty much on his hip. Now he's beat. Now the 4 needs to really step over and take that charge and challenge that shot. Okay? But say this guy's doing a good job of say that happens. So say the 4 has to come over and really help, and now the ball gets kicked out here. Well, we said before in previous videos that you can't play the passer and the receiver. So what's going to happen in this situation is that the 2 is going to try to get down here and get a hand up on that shot. If this guy shoots it, the 2 tries to challenge it. If he swings it back up here, now the 4 has got to beat out here. And so we're going to end up with mismatches, but it's just the nature of the rotation. All right, so that's what happens if the ball is driven to the left on top of the key. Now, if the ball were driven to the right from on top of the key, it would be the same thing that would happen, except that it would be the 5's job to come in here and step over. All right, and then the exact same thing would happen if he kicked. The 3 would rotate down. The 3 initially has two players here. He has to drop to the level of the ball, meaning if the ball is driven, the 3 is going to want to drop to the level of the ball. So he's going to want to drop. So if the ball gets kicked out here to the 5, the 3 closes out hard, okay? And then the 5 is going to have to end up out here if this ball gets swung. All right, let's move the ball to the wing now. All right, so the ball's on the wing. You want this guy to be in a no-middle stance. So you don't want the ball to be driven to the middle of the court, because that puts our players out of position, messes up responsibilities. Help-wise, we want to encourage baseline drives. Of course, it's going to happen where the ball gets driven middle, and we'll play out of it. But in today's video, we're going to talk about sending them baseline. So this guy drives to the baseline. The 4 is not going to help. He's going to be not stuck to his man, but he's going to be in that position there. The 2 is on this guy's hip. The 5 now rotates over to block a shot or take a charge or whatever. 3 now is playing 2 momentarily. The 1 has still got the 1. So if the ball is then pitched out to the 5 in the corner, say the ball is swung past to the 5 in the corner, the 3 is there. The 5, if he swings it, now this has to be a communication between the 1 and the 5. The 5 would more than likely be busting out here, covering that guy, and then the 1 still has the 1. Now, if this happens, if the 5 is there, the 3 is here, the ball is here, and the 2 puts the ball up on the glass, this guy is going to be crashing the glass. Okay? He's going to be trying to get to the offensive glass. He's a 5. This 3 becomes what you call a crackback. The 3 has to get back here and crack back and block out the 5. That's his responsibility, and now we got the 1 playing 2 people. All right? So if the offensive rebound spits out, then it's a scramble situation and the 1 comes out. Now the ball is in the corner. See what happens here. We're still saying no middle. The 2 is in sort of a help position. The 1 is here. The 5 is dang near under the basket, and then the 3 is somewhere in this area here. All right, so that's not going to be a good drive for him, but say he gets driven. Say the 4 gets driven to the basket. The 5 is going to come over and challenge the shot. The 3, once again, becomes the crackback. It's playing 2. The 3 is playing 2, so if that ball is passed out here, the 3's responsibility to get out to it. Same if it were kicked to the 3, that's that 3's responsibility to get out to it as well. And in the case that the 4 takes a shot and the 5 is crashing the glass, the 3 becomes the crackback. The 1 is playing 2. The 1 is playing the 3 and the 1. All right. Let's go to the other side, which is going to be the same rotations. So we'll just go over this pretty quickly. So ball's on the opposite wing. 3 is guarding him. No middle. Just shading him that way. The 1 is off. The 2 is got the nail. That's one other thing too. Some coaches might teach you that when you're in this position, it's very good to have cues so that your players can communicate what they're doing. And this player would be yelling nail. This player would be yelling pack. That's what we yelled in college. We have a pack position here, and here you're yelling help. I got help. The 2 is I got help is nail, and the 1 is like I got your help as well, or I'm denying. Something like that. That's the communication that goes with it. So he gets driven baseline. Boom. The 3's on his hip. The 4 rotates over. You should be able to tell me now what happens. The 2 is playing 2. The 4 and the 2. So if the ball is kicked to the 4, it's the 2's responsibility to get out there. And then the 4 would be getting up here in case the ball is swung back. All right. In the case that the ball is shot, who has the crackback? The 2 is in the crackback position, blocking out this 4 crashing. The 1 has got 2 players, the 1 and the 2. All right, let's get back, and we're just going to cover this baseline really quick. The 5 is out on the baseline, no middle. He gets driven. Well, 4 is in help. The 2 is down here. The 3 is right about in here, and the 1 is about on the nail. And so he gets driven, baseline, boom. 5 is on his hip. The 4 comes over to help. Ball gets kicked. The 2 is playing 2 again. So he's playing the 4 and the 2, and the 1 is shading around here. He's playing the 1. So if the ball is kicked to the 4, it's the 2's responsibility. Boom, to get over there. And also, if that ball is swung here, this 4 should be busting out. But if he's not getting out, it's a communication thing. The 1 gets there. The 1 can get here. And the 4 then could cover the 1. So it's not necessarily a hard rule in who gets who in scramble situations. But the biggest thing to do is to communicate well with your teammates. You have to teach your team to communicate very well with their teammates. And that will help so much with matchup situations. I hope this video made a lot of sense to you, and I hope it helps you in your endeavors to teach the man-to-man defense. Thank you for watching. God bless. Hit that link in the description. Get you that free zone guide. Force him out of his zone. Make him play man-to-man. God bless y'all. I'll see y'all next time.